here we're asked to find a function given its zeros. So they have to give you what the zeros would be. Just remember that when we plug them back into the binomial, they're going to be opposite signs, right? And I took a little bit longer one just so that you can see how it's done if there are roots in there. So I'm just going to write out what the zeros are in their binomials. So the first number I have is 2, so it would be x minus 2. The second binomial would be x plus 2 plus square root of 5. And then we have x minus 2 minus square root of 5. And then x plus 2. So now that we have all of these, now we can actually FOIL everything out, right? So in these x plus square root of 5, you can kind of think of them almost like in their own kind of like parentheses. They're almost like the second term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my x minus 2 and my x plus 2. I'm going to FOIL those out first, just because those are simpler, right? And usually you want to break it up into parts and FOIL things out. So this would give me x squared plus 2x minus 2x minus 4. So the two middle terms actually cancel each other out. So it simplifies to be x squared minus 4, right? So there's one of, or the half of it. And then we're going to FOIL the other part out. So I'm going to think of it as x plus this term, which is 2 plus square root of 5. And then x minus this term, so 2 minus square root of 5, right? So x times x would give me x squared. X times that would give me negative x in parentheses 2 minus square root of 5. And then, oops, we want to take the other part. So x times the positive part, so plus x in parentheses 2 minus square root of 5. And then we're going to have 2 plus square root of 5 times 2 minus square root of 5. So I'm going to actually do that a little bit separately over here. So 2 plus square root of 5 times 2 minus square root of 5. So we actually FOIL that out too. Right, so 2 times 2 would give me 4. 2 times square root of 5 would give me minus 2 square root of 5. And then 2 square root of 5 times positive 2, so plus 2 square root of 5. And then we have square root of 5 times square root of 5. So, and there's a minus there, so square root of 5 times square root of 5 means you just combine them, right? So the 5 and the 5 go underneath the root, and they're multiplying against each other. So, and then of course we know this is actually going to be 5 to the second power, so the second power actually cancels the root out, which is the reason why we want them to multiply against each other. And then we also notice that minus 2 square root of 5 will cancel out with the positive 2 square root of 5. So all we're left with really is 4 minus 5, which actually simplifies to negative 1, right? So this canceled out, that canceled out. So from that second part of all of your zeros, you have x squared minus 1, okay? So it looks kind of crazy, but that's what you get. So now I have this binomial and this one that have to FOIL out together. Okay, so I'm going to erase the rest of the work, and we're going to do that FOILing out. Okay. So if I FOIL those out, I get x squared minus 4 right? And it's going to FOIL out with x squared minus 1. That gives me x to the 4th power minus x to the 2nd power minus 4x to the 2nd power plus 4, right? These are like terms, they can come together. So finally I get f of x is equal to x to the 4th power minus 5x to the 2nd power plus 4. So that would be my function from the zeros they gave me.